head right. Oh yeah, what's up, head right homies? Welcome to the Zo Loft Head Right Hangout. You know, the same space from the Global Rubber Room. Hey, I hope y'all's weekend fun. Hey, if you're following up with us in the Zo Loft, the wish is still true. The hope is still true that you guys are off to a great start with your week and that it gets better as it goes through. And if your week is starting off rough, I hope it gets better. Hey, it can. It can. You got to think positive, right? You got to accent positive and, alleviate the negative. How did that sound?
Eliminate the negative.
That's right. Yeah, all right. Anyway, obviously, I'm not as cool as Bing Crosby, so I just totally butchered that song. And really dated myself, too. Of course I dated him, that means I look really good because, hey, Zo, you were born in like the 40s or something like that?
I was going to say, we were kids.
They were still playing them reruns up through the 70s. Okay, so what are we going to try to get to today, folks? What came across my desk?
We have a Tom trifecta in the chat. I'd just like to point out it's Tom dangerous trifecta. There.
That sounds powerful. Okay, so we got 3 Floridians killed by illegal Indian trucker. We're actually come to find out that these driver and passengers were Haitian migrants.
Yep.
Trans shooter Robert Westman attacks Minnesota Catholic school. Right. We got Rosie O'Donnell apologizing for calling Minnesota shooter MAGA Republican. Ooh. Has hell frozen over or something like that?
Right.
And LGBTQ. They got me adding letters to it. All it says LGBT, and I'm like getting ready to say all of the QT, RS, elemental P, whatever, inverted W. So dressed up as a woman blames Christian parents for the Minneapolis shooting. Okay. Yeah, you're seriously barking up the wrong tree there, cuz. But anyway, we'll articulate as to why. AI toys spark fierce debate over child development and privacy. Teen's death prompts OpenAI changes to ChatGPT after it coached beautiful suicide lawsuit. Retsef Levi fires back at top CDC official who quits in protest, exposes what really happened behind closed doors. Dr. Robert Malone eviscerates Biden's pro-gay orgy czar, Demetre Daskalakis. Did I say that right? Daskalakis. Right? Yeah, that sounds Greek for something dirty.
Yeah,
sorry.
It probably is.
Are you being a Greekophobe? Like, no, I'm just saying that this dude, bro, orgy Demetre, probably likes to do some Greek stuff. Anyway, y'all know what I'm talking about. In fiery clash after exposing CDC regulations as cover up for looming COVID vaccine safety scandal. Daskalakis. That's how it's right. That's how you say it, right?
Yes.
Daskalakis.
Daskalakis.
All right. Yeah. It looks like it means something dirty. sorry. Just because it's him. Right. If I saw that word by itself, Daskalakis, I wouldn't think nothing of it. It might say it might be like a tasty Greek dish.
Right. Yeah. It kind of sounds like that.
Yeah, like spanakopita or something
right?
like that.
Right. Exactly.
Or some. I don't know how you say
stuffed grape leaves.
Yeah. How do you say that Greek? I don't know how you say that.
Don't. We used to get them all the time.
Yeah.
DOM.
I don't know.
I have to know it.
But I would think that even Daskalakis. And that it sound like maybe like a food dish or something like that, but since it's this czar Demetre, and being that he's a pervert, I can't help but see this word and think that it means something dirty. It sounds like it's something dirty. Daskalakis. Anyway,
Dolmas.
Was it?
Dolmas.
Right? Those are pretty tasty. I like those.
Yeah.
Trump hating RINO radio host attacks RFK Jr. as Kook and conspiracy theorist after cancer-stricken wife denied COVID shot due to his HHS policies. Kennedy Center honoree Gloria Gaynor Oh no, no, come on now, I wish fine. Oh, as long as I know, and now. Anyway, 20K to MAGA Republicans, according to FEC records. Kiss. I wanna rock and roll all night. Dang it. Deeply honored to accept Trump's Kennedy's Center honor, despite branding him important. And then we have Coldplay. Welcome Bees. Are they back in the news again?
Yeah.
With some awkward stuff. Is that them? Kiss cam folk?
Yep.
Okay. Coldplay. Welcome these girls on stage, but things got awkward once they said they were from Israel. All right. So let's back it on up. Three Floridians.
Say it 3 times.
Yeah. I was about to try it too, but I didn't want to like stroke out like on camera. Yeah, and it's like, dang, man, you killed some Haitians. Actually, well, no, the Indians, they can be some pretty crazy drivers from what I hear. Like they're trafficking Indians, but like Haitian drivers, man, they call them hell drivers for like the bus, their transportation.
Hell drivers.
You didn't know it's like, man, you didn't know a bus, a school bus could scoot like that. It's like grab a hold. I'm not going to come to a complete stop. Right, I'm just gonna kind of coast on in here by the side of the road, and you make sure you use your strong arm now. You just grab onto that thing as we launch it to the next station. So hell drivers. So anyway, let's see what this article says. Man, sometimes so editorial. Sometimes the headlines just write themselves. This is such a perfect encapsulation of America's migrant issues. This is coming from Babylon Bee, by the way. Not to be. America's migrant issues, that it is truly beyond parody. The gist of it is that, these, the drivers of the minivan or the driver of the minivan and his passengers, were from Haiti.
Yep.
And now all of a sudden, MAGA don't care. It was a point of, this is why we need to get these illegal immigrants off of our streets, and we need to deport them because they're costing American families. And the people in the car were Haitian.
Yeah, they're saying, oh, well, they should have been deported. Nobody would have died.
Yeah, it's like, maybe we need to put some more Indian drivers back on the road, and maybe some more people will run into them, from Haiti. But it's all of a sudden it kind of got quiet.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it got quiet after that. And look, I for one am like, look, if you're not coming to America legally, you need to turn your behind or back around and go back to where you were. It's like, look, man, the long and short of it is, while people try to make and I've said this for years, I think it's really weird that people want to come to this country that is supposedly so corrupt and imperialistic and racist and all that sort of, what the crap do you want to come here for? And more importantly, like when you got these people from these other countries who have such patriotism for where they were, you want to come from south of the border and you want to wave your American, your flags over the American flag and stuff like that. That doesn't make any sense. What do you want to come here for? That is because I'm basically asking this. Why is it that you want to force America and you want to force America, you want to put the burden on America to do for you what your country won't? That don't make any sense.
Yeah.
Why are you charging us? Why are you holding us responsible? Your country is denying you these things. That's why you want to come here. All the effort that you're putting in here to try to make America accommodate you and conform to you, why don't you put that energy into doing that to your country?
Yeah.
Your country screwed you, not us. It is not our responsibility to conform to whatever your ideas are, and we all just capitulate to what you want, whatever the cost is. And sometimes that cost comes at the cost of other people's lives. So you want to get on American roads and you want to forsake our rules and our laws that, kind of help keep us safe while on the road, and you're just going to ignore those, and then an accident, a lethal one, happens. So now I don't really have much to say in terms of the immigrants. I really don't know what their status is. Maybe it was are they here for oh my goodness, what's that acronym? It's not a work visa. It's kind of like
the temporary protected status. Haitians, Biden gave Haitians temporary protected status because their country was imploding again.
And thanks to policies that you can thank the Clintons for that.
Yep.
So y'all, and I've been to Haiti. And you want to talk about like some really resourceful people. They're not only are they resourceful people, their land is lush. Like I would, as I've said before, their soil is so, lush and fertile, man. You can grow hair in it, and the people like us, they're like I said, they're very, very resourceful. It's just a point of when you have a government and institutions in place that keep them from thriving. Well, you get stuff like this. You get a nation that just doesn't flourish, but they have the means to. They just got a boot on their neck, and the Clintons, that they just add another level of leverage to that. They have
plundered that country for years.
Yeah, so Haiti itself. I mean, when you're just made to where you can't thrive, it'll make people go sideways, and that's a lot of countries, man. That's a lot of countries. I'm not the kind of person who's like who has these notions about people per se. We all need air, food, water, and things like that. We all have a sense of purpose and whatnot. But there's traditions that get in the way, or cultures that get in the way. These certain worldviews that'll prevail and shape the way much of a culture thinks. And these things, they're not in people's DNA. They're just they become hard. They're just inundated with these certain perspectives that end up being something that you can almost stereotype people with. But this right here, with this this driver, from India, just taking liberties on the road like that. The bottom line is that it cost the lives of some human beings. If they weren't supposed to be here legally, then you shouldn't have been on our roads illegally. Both parties, if you're here legally. We know that the driver from India wasn't here legally, right? So and the other guys, if they're here on the protected, they're whatever.
I mean, technically they were here legally because we let Biden go ahead and take the presidency, and we lived under his rules.
Exactly. So if people want to talk about like, well, they should have been deported, they should have no. What should have happened is that if Trump was as effective as people like swore that he was going to be, and draining the swamp and all this sort of stuff, there ain't no way that Biden could have stolen the presidency, which Biden did.
Yes.
He did steal the presidency, and Trump was impotent and ineffectual to stop him.
Yep.
Okay. So and basically the Democrats roped MAGA into a trap in January 6th. I mean, for real.
Yeah.
And all they can say is that Biden is stupid. He's got dementia and all this sort of stuff and whatever. I was like, well, no, he still pulled one over on y'all.
Yeah.
And the swamp did too. Whatever help he had, Trump wasn't effective at draining it. So, these and with that, and because of that slip and Biden getting in, we have a big a much bigger illegal immigration problem.
Yeah.
Where was that wall? That wall that Mexico was supposed to build. No, that money didn't go into building wall. That money went into getting people vaccinated.
Yep.
Vaccinated. That's where that money went. Democrats were more effective at making that happen than Trump was effective at getting that border built with money from Mexico. So if people want to be mad, about, and well, that's why they should have been deported and all that sort of stuff. There's a reason why them borders became wide open to a whole bunch of other people. and then people ended up on our roads.
Yeah.
All right. So, it'd be nice if people kind of, be a little bit more, real instead of, idolatrous about Trump, as far as that goes. I'm much better, we're much better off with him being president than Biden, but dang, he kind of needs to know when he dropped the ball.
Yeah.
And his fans kind of need to know that too. Anyway, what else we got? Trans shooter. Robert Westman attacks Minnesota Catholic school. And, of course, our prayers, even though it doesn't matter to a lot of these people coming out and saying that, we do pray for them to receive the Lord's peace and comfort concerning this. But let's check it out. And we're going to talk about, their perspective on prayer and thoughts. While Columbine marked the beginning of the school shooter zeitgeist, the trend for these shooters in recent years has trended towards both women and transvestites becoming more prominent culprits, and increase in Christian schools being attacked. Nashville shooter Audrey Hale murdered 6 at the Covenant School, which led to a battle over the release of the Manifesto, which revealed self-hatred even on racial grounds. Back in December, there was a shooting of an Abundant Life Christian school by Natalie Rupnow, a gender non-conforming female incel, who was perhaps inspired by a Twitter account by the name of RFH. Rupnow's manifesto also revealed ties to the gay community and general hatred of humanity. On August 27th, the transvestite shooter, just a sweet transvestite, it puts that in my head. This wasn't the truth.
Right?
This transvestite wasn't. But for Frank Murder, even though he claimed to be a sweet transvestite, he was still a murderer, though.
That's true.
Yeah. And on a side note, y'all, Tim Curry, that's one of his regrets. He wasn't really happy about praying Frank.
It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's like more important, like what people got out of it.
Yeah.
Tim Curry's like, this person is supposed to be a villain. He's not a hero. He's a psychopath.
Our culture made a hero out of him.
Right? It's like y'all made a hero out of Frankenfurter. He was a pervert. All right, he was a pervert and a murderer. So it's like but it's like that kind of is lost on people. Anyway, transvestite shooter Robert Westman attacked Annunciation Catholic School in Minneapolis, murdering 2 students and injuring 17 during what was supposed to be a celebratory back-to-school mass at 8:30 a.m. Westman killed himself on the scene. He was 23 years old. Like most of these recent shooters, Westman had an online fingerprint, which included a YouTube channel where his content was archived before YouTube purged it. His videos exemplify how disturbed he was. You mean what? Not that he was dressing up like a woman. That wasn't the disturbing part. What was the part that actually got you thinking it was disturbed? Blogs contain various unhinged statements. In a 20-minute video, he flips through the manifesto pages while occasionally muttering. But towards the end, has a drawing of him looking in the mirror and seeing a devilish figure. The manifesto is written with the Cyrillic alphabet, but with English phonetics. Okay, let's work our way back from here. So this last picture that he has with the demon on it, you would think that he would have drawn the demon with some boobies on it or whichever. But he didn't. I guess the demon still looks like a dude. Not even like Baphomet, because Baphomet. This kind of stuff, man, goes way back. Even Baphomet is drawn with is depicted with both parts. This stuff goes way back. Baphomet didn't come out of nowhere. Baphomet is borrowed from the Hebrew. It's not meant to be for satanic purposes, but it was stolen for that. Because when you go into the Hebrew and you look up the name Azazel, which is the word for the scapegoat, And I think the azazel is it could be, you know, for a female goat, it could be for a male goat, I think, but when it's sent off into the wilderness, it's a male goat. But you know, included in the meaning of goats, like when you say azazel or ez, I think there's another word for goat too. But included in the meaning is devil. All right, and it, you know, it could be talking about a female goat, or it could be talking about a male goat. I guess it depends on the context. And so, you know, this association with goats, demons, and things like that is already in the Hebrew metadata when you look at the word for goat. So, you know, like the image of Baphomet just didn't come out of nowhere. It was, you know, extracted from that. But this right here, yeah, I think it's kind of interesting that, you know, he's a transvestite, but he looks himself in the mirror and sees a demon with no boobies. He draw some boobies on it. Now, let's talk about. You had the was it the minister? Was it the governor or the mayor? Both perverts.
Yeah, the governor is Tim Walz. The mayor.
Okay, yeah.
Another version of that. What was his name? The Prime Minister of Canada.
Oh, Trudeau.
Yes.
So
kind of reminds me of him.
All right, and I think Kamala Harris even echoed this sentiment. And you got people, you know, parroting this sentiment of save your thoughts in your prayers.
Yeah, Jen Psaki was the worst.
Yeah. Okay. And makes it a point to say they were shot literally while they were praying.
Yeah.
All right. Fair enough. That's fair. Now I'm really going to step on some toes because one thing I want to set straight here is you know, people be talking about these Christian institutions. They're not Christian. They're Catholic. Okay. Christians and Catholic, it's not the same. Okay. I'm sorry if people are offended that I would say that. Okay. I sympathize because it offends me. I find it offensive that Catholics call themselves Christians. You're not Christians. You're Catholics. There's nothing really in the Bible that supports what, you know, this buildup of your religion. It is a full-on man-made religion. It is basically the biggest institution of goddess worship and idolatry in the world. And it doesn't really have much to do with what Jesus intended. So all that to say, when you have people who are coming after Christians, they're coming after Christians because and falling away from the faith because they get these things confused, because Catholicism can't really explain what it is, you know, that it believes. It really can't. It falls flat when you follow it to its conclusion. And that's why people have so many questions. They're left with so many questions about, it's like, what does this mean? What are you doing with this? Because it really doesn't have much to do with the fulfillment of Christ. It doesn't. That's why it just disappeared. The concept of it, it just falls off into the ether. You know, you try to explain it. It's like, you know, that's why, you know, it's like they're looking for answers and they're left void. And it becomes that is true blind faith. God doesn't work on blind faith. To follow Catholicism, you really have to follow Catholicism on blind faith. And God doesn't do blind faith. All right. So all that to say, it bothers me that people, they have this resentment towards Christianity because of a lot of stuff that they think is Christian when it's not. It's Catholic. The Catholics have like, it's like they've co-opted Christianity and claimed Christianity as they being the true religion, the first church. This is not true. So now when it comes down to prayer, once again, you know, I'm sorry if I'm stepping on toes and offending people. Once again, I sympathize because it's offensive to me. Catholics don't pray to Jesus. That's a problem. That's a big problem. Jesus is our high priest. He is our intercessor. He is who you take your prayers to. But no, in their philosophy, you got to take your prayers to a saint, you know, the deceased. That's naive divination. That's what that is. That's what something God does not dig. You don't pray to a saint to go pray to God for you, or pray to Jesus for you. You go straight to Jesus. He's our high priest. Or Mary, thinking that, well, Jesus listens. We pray to Mary because Jesus is going to listen to his mother. When Jesus flat out said, I do the will of my Father. Okay, so he's our intercessor. He is the one we send our prayers to. So the prayers, y'all, I'm sorry to tell you, the prayers aren't going to the right place. The proper channels aren't being conducted. According to some religion and some tradition, they think that these are how the prayers are supposed to be. But y'all, that's one issue. The other issue is, y'all, even Jesus, while he was in the middle of his prayers, getting up from his prayers, they came to arrest him. While he was praying, hey, look, blood sweating blood, praying quite fervently. Hey, Pops, if there's another way that we could do this, that would be fantastic. Oh, I see they're coming to arrest me. You know what I'm saying? Paul, hey, God, I got this thorn in my side. If you could do something about that, that would be fantastic. Oh, I guess we're not going to do anything about that. All right, y'all, the prayers, this is a fallen world. And I'll tell you where the prayers are effective in just a second. Because God's ultimately going to work it all out. But these people are thinking that prayer is useless. It has no value. And I'll agree with them when they say you save your thoughts and prayers. I agree. It's not our thoughts. There's a way that seems right. The word of God will tell you, though, there's a way of God that seems right to a man, but its way leads to death. This dude thought he was doing what was right too. Mm-hmm. What did it lead to? Death. We in our own philosophies and leaning on our own intellect and stuff like that, we ain't gonna solve this. That's why this stuff keeps going on, because these people are saying that there's prayer doesn't work. The problem is that we're filled with a world where people have more confidence in believing in themselves and what they feel is right. We're flooded with a world of that.
Yeah.
We're not flooded with a world of prayer, right prayer to God himself, not a religion coming between you and your prayers, a religion coming between you and Christ. See, a lot of people pray according to a religion, not according to their priesthood in Christ. A lot of people don't recognize that that's what you are. You're baptized into Christ. You are baptized into his priesthood. And as priests, we pray directly to the high priest. Much of the world doesn't know that. Much of the world's prayer life is wrong.
Yep.
Much of the world is, and even those who are in prayer, they're even still taught to believe in themselves. And you got to do what you feel is right. That's what the world is given over to. That's where most of the world's confidence is. Their confidence is in these things. All right. So yeah, we live in a world, it's a fallen world. And the prayers, they're heard, they're not forgotten, stored up maybe. The Lord responds in his own time. We were warned about this, of how these things are going to unfold, how these things, of what's going to happen. So the thoughts, the positive vibes, praying to the universe and all that sort of stuff. The universe isn't a God, y'all. The universe doesn't think. It doesn't consider anything. All right? It is the ultimate cause and effect. It does not recognize policy. It doesn't recognize our laws. Our laws are not natural or anything like that. We don't have natural, not the laws, but the rights. We don't have natural rights. Nature doesn't recognize rights. Right? There's no such thing as natural rights because nature doesn't recognize it. Doesn't know what that is. So when people are talking about praying to the universe and positive universe vibes and all that sort of stuff, yeah, save that crap. Doesn't mean anything. All right? That's just some more paganism. And your prayers. Yeah, save your prayers if you don't know who you're praying to. Do you really know? A lot of people out there, they claim to be Christian, they don't know who they're praying to. They really don't. Jesus is just some sort of figure that makes them feel that they're taught to that they got their altar call because they wanted to be made to feel special. Oh, there's a greater power that loves me, and his name is Jesus. I don't know anything about him. I don't know what qualifies him to be the forgiver of our sins.
Right.
I don't know because Jesus is all nice and squishy. They like that, but they don't like the Old Testament God, but they don't realize that they're the same person.
Yeah.
Oh, the Old Testament God is mean and he's vengeful and all these things. That's still Jesus. It's still him. And the word of God will tell you that that God will go silent on us. It's like, man, y'all just keep taking me for granted, forsaking me and stuff like that. I'm just going to duck out for a while. And he's done that. Maybe we're in those times again. Maybe some silent years before the Lord comes calling. I don't know. But here's the thing. Prayer does work. It does. Maybe it doesn't work when we're getting ready for it to work. God's already been that route. He came. It's like, what, you got something that you need? Came and handled it right there, right on the spot. Well, they killed him for it. And I was like, yeah, we're not doing this anymore. As I've said before, the Lord's like, look, I came and showed you grace and evidence to the point of death. That's what I got in return. Now, your charge is to show your faith to the point of your death. You may go to your grave with prayers unanswered in this time. Maybe you will receive your prayers. You just got to keep the faith. Because I've given you evidence. I've come up and I've rescued people from things. Y'all still went sideways on me. Heck, you know what? I was hoping too. While y'all are mad and saying prayer doesn't work and thoughts doesn't work, where was he? He said, where were you? I had hoped. Of course I knew how this was going to turn out, but I'm still an optimist. So regardless of the religion of the children, it's tragic. I don't have any sort of bigotry or resentment. That should be needless to say. It's heartbreaking about what's happened to them. But to say that prayer doesn't work, yeah, it does. The ones getting in the way, but they're like y'all who say that prayer doesn't work. Y'all get in the way. You have this animus towards believing in God for who he says he is. And that's what goes out into the culture and it interferes with people. If we were a prayerful world, man, we wouldn't have these problems. Praying to the Lord for who he says he is. But no, we got a whole bunch of different religions. Yeah, people pray. Not praying right. Not sending those prayers to the right place. We got a world full of that. The Lord has revealed who he is. Look, man, I'm the truth. A lot of people decide that they want their own truth, or they like this religion that appeals to them, or some people are forced into the religion that they have. And this even transgenderism is a religion. It in itself is a religion.
Yes, it is.
It's witchcraft. They want transformation. And they give their blood offering to transform their body into something else. They take potions, hormones, if you will, to assume to transform themselves to something else. They use incantations, telling what pronouns, right? That's y'all. That's incantations, y'all. These are enchantments.
Yeah.
And people are falling for it. You understand? You got people out there, they're allies, droned out for them, telling you that you have to respect their pronouns, call them the zims and the zers, and my pronouns are they, them, and all that sort of stuff. Those are incantations, y'all. This is witchcraft. And this stuff is headed up by the pharmaceutical industry, right? Giving you these antidepressants, pumping you with antidepressants and the potions and all that sort of stuff to make you think that you're something else, or you're in this right state of mind. The pharmaceutical industry. And y'all know the word pharmaceutical comes from the word pharmakia. And the word pharmakia means sorcery. That's what it means. Witchcraft. And they're in control of the nation. And this demonism that's coming in with the witchcraft is taking to your schools and shooting up places. And they're able to get away with it because this person is more like the hero, right? Because at the end of the day, he wouldn't have done it if it wasn't for us evil Christians, us Christian nationalists. We're the ones who bullied him into doing this. Mm-hmm. It's our fault. Remember, y'all, Satan's name means the accuser. And these people get away with doing it because they get to be the victims, accusing us of being mean and hostile and wanting and bloodthirsty. It's us. That's why this person went on this rampage, because he was bullied into doing it. Y'all, you read the word of God and you find out that it's not, it's totally the other way around. Let me remind you of Sodom and Gomorrah. Sodom and Gomorrah was all of this stuff. It was beyond. Homosexuality was just the start. They did it all. Yeah. Right? They was full-blown pervert. Homosexuality, pederasty, necrophilia, bestiality, they did it all. Right? They were so out there, man, even the heathen nations around them. They were calling out to God. God, can you do something about that? Why? Because they were oppressive. They were bullies. You gonna join us. You gonna conform to our perversion. But dude walks down the street and says that he wants to be called a woman. You gonna call him a woman. You gonna be forced into it. That's what they're trying to do to us now, ain't it? They'll go. It's like if you don't conform to the way we think, we will come and shoot up your kids. That's where they are. We gonna come and kill your kids until you recognize and you accept. You accept the vexation, baby. You accept the vexation that if I can be born a man, but if I tell you that I'm a woman, you're gonna believe it. You're gonna accept it. You will submit to what I think is the truth. Right? It's just the beginning. This is, man, how long have I been saying this? Like, because there's they think they made some strides. Like, you ain't made nothing. You haven't done anything. This stuff is going to get crazier, man. Like I said, with Sodom and Gomorrah, it took God coming out and pouring fire out on them. They weren't just like these limp-wristed sissies and stuff like that. Right. No, they were psychotic, sexually obsessed people. Not just homosexuals. There was homosexuals. There was transgender. There was all of that. So y'all, this has been going on for thousands of years, man. This ain't nothing new. And we should know better now. Yeah. We should know better. What you think people going in and shooting up, man, there's people made celebrations of sacrificing kids. This is not new stuff. And we should know better. Why are we still doing this? How come we hadn't handled this? Because you got a lot of people out there who believe in themselves. Even if a lot of people call themselves Christians. Even a lot of people who are those Christian nationalists, Republicans, and conservatives. They believe in themselves. They believe in their political ideology. They believe in Trump more than they believe in prayer. Mm-hmm. We're not really a prayerful nation, not to the right channel, not to who God says, who he says he is, not according to who the Lord Yeshua says he is. Yeah. People have more so shaped an idol and give it the nickname Jesus. And that's where they send their prayers to. That's what we have more of a nation and a world of. So, saying that prayer doesn't work, that's not exactly true. So at any rate, y'all, this person was deeply disturbed, and unfortunately, hey, it's a matter of time. Probably won't be a long time. I hope I'm wrong. Yeah. I hope he's the last one, and I really do. That would be great. That'd be fantastic. I doubt it, though.
And in his manifesto, he makes it a point to say a few times in like 3 different ways to my parents, I love you. I'm sorry. You guys did not fail as parents. You raised me, and I'm quoting him, to be a good person, and I have kept empathy. What was it? Empathy, good character, and there was the third thing.
Yeah, it's
He said, "You did not fail me. Do not think that you did anything wrong. You're great parents." And I beg to differ with him.
Well, his parents didn't parent him together. They were divorced
yeah, he was a little kid.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, y'all. Parents, married couples, their kids can go sideways too.
Right.
Most likely, there's a greater chance that your kid will go sideways if the home is broken.
Yeah. Here's the 3 traits. He said, I kept those traits of empathy, self-sacrifice, and good character.
Well, maybe the that wasn't. No, you didn't keep none of that. Whatever it is that they taught you about those things, you either misunderstood or they really taught you wrong principles in terms of empathy. Not seeing the empathy into, like, if you were empathetic, the empathy would have kept you from going in and shooting them kids. Good character. No. Is that, what was the other one? Empathy, good character,
self-sacrifice.
Self-sacrifice. Being suicidal is not self-sacrifice.
And right? Murderous.
Yeah, big difference. Okay, and because there was selfish. You were selfish, yeah.
Yes.
But in terms of self-sacrifice, no, there was no self-sacrifice there. You sacrificed a few people. All right, you sacrificed a few kids and then committed suicide. So, and you sacrificed them to yourself. You basically made a god out of yourself and went and claimed your sacrifice. So, this person is obviously very dyslexic about a lot of things.
Yeah.
And once again, y'all, there's lots more of them out there. And we're blocked from telling these people the truth. We allow them to come in and make us conform to what it is they want. I'm going through the store, I walk past some stores and I see signs on there, we proudly support the LGBT, and they got the rainbows and stuff like that. And we just have to accept it. And what these people are doing is they're emboldening people like this. See, these people, they tend to have a victim mentality. And we have a culture, especially a media culture and a political culture that constantly stokes victimhood, particularly your Democrats. Always. You're a victim, you're owed justice. You have to have justice, and this is done to you, and you're a victim, and you're owed. And then people snap because they feel like they're just being, they're just constantly being scratched at and poked at and told that they're a victim by the Democrat Party. And then when they snap and they go off on people, then it's because we don't have enough gun control. No, we don't have enough self-control. But you can't say that, because if you say you need to be more self-controlled, then you're being judgy. So, when you have people growing up single parent homes, it's going to deeply affect how a person grows up. The influence that the mom is going to have. If it's a male, it's already put in the psyche. They're going to be insecure. They weren't brought up seeing an example of security, especially security designed by God, the way he ordered it. They're not seeing that. They don't have a true sense of security. They're going to be insecure kids. I speak from experience. All right? It's one thing, you can have two very insecure husband and wife with each other, there's problems there too. But y'all, there's a special kind of void though. When you don't have the wife and the husband together, showing that example of the importance of the wife and the importance of the husband. That first show of security, building the security in the kid that the Lord has ordered. And that stuff ain't there. That's why you got a whole bunch of insecure kids now. And the generation before them was really insecure too, because they had the same thing. Right? So this person right here, in his pride and insecurity, remember y'all, pride and insecurity is two sides of the same coin. Pride leads to destruction. What did this pride, this pride agent, if you will? It's all about pride, the gay pride, and all that sort of stuff. His pride, he took his pride and went to destroy, and destroyed himself, while being also overwhelmed with insecurity. Because pride and insecurity are pretty much the same thing when you get down to it. And we're told that we can't pray for these people. We can't counsel them. We can't tell them the truth. We have to let them be given over to their own so-called truth. And this is where their truth leads them. Yeah. So, hey, we let this stuff happen. But, you know, it is what it is. It's written. My prayer is Maranatha.
Yes.
Hey, Lord, come quickly. I don't have the confidence in myself or anybody else that we're going to fix this. Because it's been thousands of years, y'all.
Yeah.
And the human condition really ain't that much different. You know, we've been doing this for a long time. Long time. I think by now it's pretty observable that we ain't going to get this right. The Lord gave all to make sure that he's prepared, you know, to make sure that he could bring us into the place that he's prepared. We don't have to deal with this stuff anymore.
Yeah.
That place exists. I'm banking on that. That's my, and the thing is, if I keep my hope in that, and my prayers is as Lord, help me be the kind of person, help us,
yes,
conform us to you. That's what I use my free will for. My free will is, hey, it's yours. Help us be the kind of people that you would want populating your kingdom. And see, if we keep that mindset in the hopes that we'll get there, then it makes things better here. Because if I'm praying for the Lord to conform me to him, and I want to be the kind of person that he wants populating his kingdom, then I ain't going to go around doing people dirty. I'm not going to try to push my so-called truth onto other people. So, but unfortunately, these people don't see it that way. You're trying to push your morality. No. I'm trying to keep you from pushing your perversion onto me. You got to twist it. I ain't trying to make you believe in my Jesus. I ain't trying to make you follow my morals and all that sort of stuff. But you do not have the right to push your perversion onto me and make me believe stuff that's not true. You don't have the right to do that. See, there's a balance of liberty here. All right, but you guys, you're wanting us to believe stuff that's unsubstantiated and force us to have to live by it. No, no, you don't want to believe in Jesus. That's fine. And you not being allowed to do your perverted stuff isn't making you believe in Jesus. You can still, you know, it's like if like, say for instance, if there's a place hiring, you know, and let's say a transgender person wants to come there and they want a job and stuff like that, and you tell them, look, man, you can't. If you're a dude, you need to come here dressed as a dude.
Yep.
All right. Don't you push your Jesus. I'm not pushing Jesus on you. You don't have to believe in Jesus. You don't have to believe in Jesus to work here. I may recommend that you do, but I'm not going to force you to believe in Jesus to work here. But you can't force your fantasy into my business. Right. This is my property. This is my stuff. You do not have the right to come in and intrude upon my property and bring your behavior into here. You don't have the right to do that. Okay? So that's not me making you believe in Jesus. What that is that I want people who are going to represent my company. It's my company. I built it. I have a vision for it. And if you're going to work here, it needs to be in concert, in harmony with what I'm trying to project here. You're trying to project something totally different. That's not conducive to what my business is. And it's not right for you to force me to do so. Once again, that's not me making you believe in Jesus. That's not me pushing my morality onto you. That's you trying to push your perversion onto me and make me pay you for it. That's where we are in the world, y'all. Yeah, see how selfish that is?
Yeah.
That's selfish, man. And we've let the world become this. Well, let me say that again. We've let the world stay like this. Because this has been going on for a long time. It goes in cycles, y'all. It ebbs and flows. Right? Like, say, for instance, nowadays, it sounds like Gen Z is saying, yo, man, this stuff has got to stop.
Yeah.
They're trying to get it together. But they're trying to get it together on their own understanding. Not according to what God says, but because of what they think is right. And once again, y'all, that's built on sand. It's going to collapse again. We're just going to keep doing this. Right? Or a lot of them, or some of them becoming religious. You know, thinking that they need something stable and solid. So they go into traditional religions and stuff like that. That ain't going to do it, y'all. You got to come to the Lord for who he says he is. That's the key. That is the key. Not some tradition or some religion or anything like that. That's not it. That's why we keep coming. That's why we keep coming back to this. People, they assume that, okay, you know what? I'm going to get some religion now. I think we need to get religious. No. That's a tried and true failure, man. That's why we keep doing this. Come to Jesus for who he's always said he is. That's all you need. Right?
His mom in 2019, when he was a minor, his mom took him to get his name legally changed to Robin.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is this woman should not have, she gave him the worldly, her love, not godly, wise love. She affirmed his mental illness.
Yes.
I think that she slowly killed her child by affirming all of this.
Yeah, loved him straight to hell.
Yeah. That's a good way of putting it. Yeah. And there's no dad in the picture. They divorced when, all these kids that they had were younger.
Yeah. Loving your kids, y'all, that's the word of God is love the Lord with all your heart, mind, and strength. Then love your neighbor. Even if your neighbor is your kid.
Yeah.
As you would yourself. You gotta have a foundation for love, y'all. We have to have a filter. We have to that has to be filtered by the love. You got to receive the love from the Lord. You got to love him. Again, like I said, it's not because the Lord is a megalomaniac. You have to love me. It's you have to process love through him. Because if we don't, we love people by our own designs. We screw each other up, folks. Our love hurts people. That's what our love does. We be thinking that we doing stuff because out of love. Like this woman, her enabling her kid in support of and showing love and acceptance of her kid, takes him to get his name changed to a more feminine name. Or, I guess Robin's not really supposed to be a feminine name. It could be it's a neutral name.
Well, we know what this kid meant by it.
We know what he meant by it. He wasn't Robin like Batman and Robin.
Right.
He was, little something a little bit more, girly. And his mother enabled him with that.
Yeah.
And she did that out of what she assumes is love.
Yep.
Got to process love by the Lord, y'all.
Hardboiled Entertainment says, on that note, Zo, what would you call the line between humility and insecurity? Because a lot of folks confuse the difference.
Great question.
Yeah.
So insecurity, I reckon, I don't think I have to tell you this. Humility and insecurity should be very easily distinguishable. In fact, humility, the thing about humility is that there is no insecurity involved. When you get down to it, you know what the funny thing about pride is? I'll remind y'all that pride is one of those things that people will sacrifice their dignity for. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Yeah. Humility, when you get down to it, humility is highly dignified. Think about it. You know what I'm talking about. So insecurity, the thing about insecurity will keep you from being humble. Insecurity and humility don't mix. Insecurity is one of those things, like say for instance, like with me, like when I was younger, insecurity kept me from having the humility of taking a job at, like, I don't know, McDonald's. I didn't want to work at no McDonald's. I wanted to work in like a fashion store or something like that when I was a kid. Too proud, too insecure, really. Afraid of like what my friends would think.
Aww.
You know, how you gonna meet, you know, the chicks who are gonna be clowning you and stuff like that because you work, you know, you got your McDonald's uniform on and stuff like that. I didn't want to work at no McDonald's. That's prideful, y'all. That's pride, and that's insecurity. Had I had humility, I would have taken a job like that. You know, and I'm trying to, I'm having a hard, these fast food restaurants, they're always hiring. I'm out there trying to find a special kind of job because I wanted to look special. You know, have some sense of prestige, even though I'd be working at another entry-level job. You know what I'm saying? So that insecurity, you know, slowed me down from, you know, being able to get some of the things that I might have wanted. You know, but I didn't want to do that. So insecurity and pride, two sides of the same coin, is the thing that canceled out me being humble and having humility. And, you know, taking, hey man, if I can get the job, it's honest work, it's honest pay. May not be honest food, but right. you know what I'm saying? So I hope that kind of, does that kind of answer the question? Does that help? Or
I think so.
Okay.
Hardball, you'll let us know.
Yeah, he'll let. He's like, you know, actually no. So
yeah, he says, I agree. I ask because a lot of folks justify their insecurity by insisting they're just being humble.
Yeah, that's and I know what you're saying, man. I got you, and that is something that definitely needs to be clarified and defined in terms of what, you know, insecurity and human, like, okay, so maybe it's like they're confusing humility with being humiliated. All right, there's being humbled and there's being humiliated. Yeah, being humiliated can make a person insecure, and people humiliating people, you know, do so out of insecurity. But even though they're pretty much rooted in the same word, they're the applications of being humble and having humility. That's in a class of its own, and definitely more honorable than humiliation. You know, that's another category. Yeah.
Jay, he had a good comeback too. He said, humility takes strength, while insecurity is the personification of weakness.
Come on now. Amen. That's it. Humility does take strength. More than that, it takes the Lord's strength. It's like, I may have a little bit of trouble getting my ego out of the way. This stone of my ego is in my way. And to get it out of my way, I may need the strength. I need the strength of the Lord to get my ego out and my pride out of the way. Yeah.
Jay also says, Zo working in a fashion shop, ask him about Serge from Beverly Hills Cop, espresso with a lemon twist.
Oh, with a twist of lemon. Wasn't that yeah, that was the guy who played Balky. Well, I can't remember his real name.
Oh gosh, I can't either. I knew it for years too. I love that show.
I think that's the right. Is that the character that you're talking about? Is espresso with a lemon?
It seems like it is, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, geez. So yeah, folks, that's we'll move on from here unless there's some other, you know, pertinent details.
Oh, Bronson Pinchot or Pinchot.
Hey, what's up?
No, that's the actor's name. High Mileage Husband for the win. Thank you, because that would have driven me crazy.
I would have never
came in with it too. Me either.
I would never remember that. I thought somebody in the chat showed up. I was like, "Hey, what's up, Bronson?"
What's up, Bronson? But I did know that name for years because me and my cousin used to watch that show,
Mm.
loved it. We would call each other Kosin because he would always say Kosin Letty.
Right. And then, you know, you guys can examine his manifesto.
Yeah, his full manifesto, his letter is there in that article.
So let's see what else we got here. Yeah. Rosie O'Donnell apologizes for Minnesota shooter. Okay. And that's, you know, you I guess one at a time, you know, baby steps, I guess, baby steps. She admitted that she was wrong, but at the same time stayed wrong. Because she's like, you know, paraphrasing her, she's like, look, another shooter, I'm just figuring that, you know, he's following the pattern, the typical MO.
Yeah, the NRA gun-loving typical white man.
And it's like, okay, Rosie, your apology doesn't mean anything. These mass shooters, they're basically never NRA people.
Yeah,
they are never right wingers. Y'all try to see the narrative that y'all control with the media. Y'all are everywhere. You're in the schools, you're on the radio, you're on the TV, you're on the interwebs, you're in the movies, and you all have all this leverage to get out there first with your narrative that it's us. And it pretty much never is. Politically motivated violence throughout history is always, pretty much always. All right, I might have missed one or two here. I don't know. But from what I've seen, the track record of it is.
Think of one and I can't.
I know, right? For over 100 years, y'all.
Yep.
For over 100 years. Always Democrats. Somewhere on the left wing of the spectrum. Communist, socialist. Always. Some sort of collectivist.
Yep.
All right. Always on the left end of the spectrum.
There is an exception. That school shooter back, was it the 70s, the Ohio State? That was a brain tumor.
Mm. It took that. It took that. He
probably was still, you know, he was a college student in the 70s. He probably still was left leaning.
You know, but Rosie, she didn't really apologize. Oh, this one time she was wrong. You've been wrong about us. Try to make like if there's going to be guns around, it's like one of the safest places you can be is like at an NRA convention.
Yep.
All right, they got guns on the tail. All those other that people don't just pick up guns, start shooting at each other. The places where they got all this gun control, you know, where they're so supposedly anti-gun and stuff like that, that's where the most violence happens.
Yeah.
The places where y'all rule. Y'all trying to blame us.
Like Chirac, where Trump is talking about going into next.
Yes. You know, and they're asking people on the street, hey, what do you think of it? And they're expecting these people saying, we don't want Trump here. And they're like, yeah, do that. Do it. We're tired of this.
Yep.
You know, but the places where they want to have these gun control policies, places are the worst. You know, and Democrats, once again, y'all, they constantly out there telling these people that they're victims and that they're owed. And these people, they end up snapping. They keep an environment of that going.
Mm-hmm.
And it stirs up this kind of stuff. And people get shooting on each other. And then they want to blame us. So her apology, it doesn't mean anything, y'all. She in the cancel culture that they have, she canceled out her own apology.
Right.
Because she just stays wrong about us. Oh, this one time I was wrong. No. You've been wrong. Girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever. Let's see what else we got here. An LGBT man dressed as a woman blames Christian parents for the Minneapolis shooting.
The Christian parents.
No, they weren't Christian. And what it seemed like this person, I guess, wants to drop some F-bombs against.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. Yeah.
So he's like, what did he say? Because, you know, I don't care to remember what these people say. But pretty much, you know, charging us. It's like, look, no, basically wanting to blame. If people are actually following Christianity, those who are following Christianity, you want to keep us away from them.
Yes. Yeah.
There's no bullying here. I'm sorry that you see. Oh, well, I'm not sorry, but you know what I'm saying. That the truth to you is being bullied.
Mm-hmm.
And so y'all come up with an imaginary friend. Y'all, I mean, imagination land is big for y'all. I mean, you're already imagining that there's so many extra different genders, or that you're one of you. So imagination is a very big thing to y'all. And then y'all imagine that y'all have some science. You imagine some science to substantiate your beliefs. Coming up with this junk physiology gobbledygook about how chromosomes work and whatnot. Really, man? So y'all come up with this imaginary stuff, and then you want to imagine that somehow we be bullying y'all into this rage that you have where you just gonna have to go and shoot people. We haven't come at y'all with bullying.
Right.
You know, well, except to tell you the truth. And the truth is agonizing to y'all. Y'all y'all are like demons. That's why when the truth showed up, Jesus, who is the truth incarnate, he is the truth that has been the truth from eternity past. He's always been the truth. And when he showed up and demons see him, what you here to torture us for, man? You know that truth is torturous. We don't like it. We want our own truth.
Yeah.
Don't be taken. We want to be able to hop in and out of people, man, and be perverts with them. Don't take that away from us. That's agonizing. They want to control people. Demons want to be in control. They just like Democrats. They are the precursor to Democrats. Democrats want to control people. They want to enslave people, whether they enslave them to picking cotton or whether they enslave them to their ideology altogether, enslave them to their fantasies, enslave them to their policies. Democrats want people shackled to them somehow. They want to be in control. And if you tell them they can't have them, they lose it. They have a flipping hissy fit, just like them demons. They act like they're tortured, like that one with that meme of that woman with Trump woman. No! Like somebody was ripping out her ovaries through her anus. Just started screaming, man. You know? So, and the demons the same way. The truth showed up. Truth, remember y'all, the truth sets you free. Democrats don't want people to be free. They want them shackled to their narrative and try to tell them that's liberty. That's Democrats for you.
Yeah.
They demons. Right? If you try to tell them that they can't, they act like they're being tortured.
Yeah, this guy who's dressed like a woman and has makeup all over, he says, take your prayers and shove them up so deep, you know, the black hole, and that your God won't see them. And then he says, F y'all, you guys did this.
Listen, Boy George, we'll leave shoving things in the anus so deep.
Yeah.
We'll leave that to you. That's your thing.
True.
All right, that's you. And yeah, God ain't looking for anything in there. And we don't care what's in there either. Prayers, listen, like I said, we've already been through this. I understand that a lot of people, you know, their prayers, they're not going to the right place, and the world is not really a prayerful world in the way that it should be. It's got more people out there who believe in themselves more than they believe in prayer. That's a problem. And for this person right here, you've got a lot of hostility. You carry that same murderous hatred, you know, for the truth that has been in existence for thousands of years. You're another one. You're a person that we have to share this world with. And for me, my prayers, as I guess I was trying to say earlier, my prayer is just for, you know, the Lord to come back and help us be, you know, help, you know, y'all listening, you know, my wife, help us be the kind of people that he wants populating this kingdom. I'm trusting for him to come in and say, we're not going to get this right, y'all. It's the world. It is subject to decay. These things are going to corrode. They are going to decay. We're going to decay into madness. All right. Not something that I look forward to, that I want to happen. You know, I'm so okay to be wrong about this. I'm really okay to be wrong about this. But you just follow how nature works, and these things are going to erode. The fabric of these things are going to tear. So I trust in the one who does not decay, the Holy One who does not see decay. I trust in him. You know,
Yes.
It's like, Lord, if I'm going to put my prayers out there, my prayers are for you. Come get us. Come get us. Because like I said, there's a utility to that prayer on the world too. Because if I keep my mind set on the Lord and be the kind of person that he will want occupying his kingdom, that means that I'm going to be the kind of person who doesn't do other people dirty. Right? I ain't going to steal from you. I ain't going to lie on you. I ain't going to covet your stuff. No adultery, no dishonor. So isn't that the kind of people that you want in the world? People who ain't gonna steal from you,
right?
Covet your stuff, slander you, and lie on you and stuff like that. The funny thing is, as the meme goes, y'all probably familiar with the saying: if you want to offend, it was more of a political meme, and it was like, if you want to offend a conservative, lie to them. If you want to offend a liberal, tell them the truth.
Yes.
Right? That's where we still.
Brilliant.
It's still there, and worse. These people are highly offended. They think you're being hostile to them when you tell them the truth.
Yeah.
But they want us to live by their lies, which they call their truth. Yeah, that's where we are, man.
Wow.
And it ain't gonna get any better.
Mm-mm.
So that's why I'm like, hey, the truth sets us free. Lord, come free. You are the truth. Come set us free. We're ready. We're holding out for that evac.
Amen.
Let's go. Because like I said, if we stay in that attitude of being the kind of people that, you know, it ain't our goodness, y'all. It's not our goodness. It's not our righteousness. It's his. That's why I'm like, conform us to you.
Yes.
Help us. Be them kind of first. We surrender ourselves to you to be those kind of people. Like I said, if we're those kind of people, then we will live honorably and honestly among other people. That's what helps us to be the salt and light in the world. That makes us those preserving agents. Right? That's what salt is for. To preserve and to make savory and to make flavorful. Trying to add a good flavor to the world. You know, while these people are, you know, they're constantly, you know, putting vinegar on the world. You know, some people like vinegar and stuff like that.
I was gonna say,
not a big fan. Sometimes I've been in a restaurant and somebody like order some fish and chips, and they be pouring that funky like malt vinegar on it. I mean, come on, man, why is that delicious to you? You know, I said, can't you just at least maybe like have some tartar sauce or something like that, or put
tartar sauce.
You know, put some cocktail sauce on it or something like that. Why you gotta pour straight vinegar on it? No, rude. Anyway.
Of course, they have to sit next to you.
Yeah, they sit right by. Actually, sometimes they be way across there. That stuff just waft on over. Malt vinegar, man.
It finds you.
Right. Angry. Let's see what else we got here. AI toy. Sparks. So we're taking Teddy's recipe to a whole new level, I guess.
Yeah.
AI toy sparks fierce debate over child development and privacy. Hey, do y'all remember the Synasterbia video? I had taken it down because it's one of those things just heartbreaking, man. I took it down because I think I was hoping to get, you know, support. It was my pilot to really set off this series, you know, Synasterbia, you know, content from a conservative slant. You know, I figured, you know, conservative would be happy about that. Just instead of having influencers and talking heads, is that, yo, let's get a comedy series going, some kind of entertainment going. And not only was it kept from being seen by, you know, YouTube, just, you know, I mean, it was written about in the Hollywood Reporter.
Yep.
You know, Hollywood Reporter wrote about it. But for some reason, you know, the conservative media didn't want to help.
They like books and documentaries and just people who like to stir up trouble so they can make money off of it.
Yeah, pretty much. you know. And so it was just, you know, I guess it left a pretty sour taste in my mouth. So I just pretty much took it down. But Sinister, that first pilot was basically the Hillary Clinton doll. And it was a play on, remember the Twilight Zone, Talkie Tina. It was a play on that. So Hillary Clinton doll was going to be this Talkie Tina doll. And so this Hillary Clinton, she wasn't AI. It was, you know, basically, well, it was, you know, a doll possessed by the evil of Hillary Clinton. And but you know, it just kind of reminds me that when I talk about this right here, I think even in Japan, a lot of lonely people in Japan, and they have it to where it's like if you go into a restaurant, they supply like, I don't know, like a teddy bear or something like that for you to, you know, to have your coffee or your tea with as you go in there. When you just have very socially, when you just have disconnected people, you know, once again, y'all, it goes back to loving the Lord. Listen, love the Lord with all your heart, mind, and strength. Love your neighbor, then love your neighbor as you would yourself. Okay? Well, you got people out there who don't love the Lord, and they really don't know how to love themselves.
Yeah.
All right? And from there, they're raising up kids with that void, with that emptiness. And now we've got people out there designing technology to assume to fill this void. We're taking an imaginary friend to a whole new level, right? So we're going to give kids AI dolls. Heck, I can't make real friends. I don't know how. I don't have the fundamentals to make real friends. Yeah. All right? And so we're going to supplement with this android, a drone or whichever, something, you know, that can animate and respond.
Yeah, it's got microphones and cameras, so it says it looks at the child's expressions, the micro expressions. It analyzes the voice. And is able to communicate and have conversations. The problem is it's a one-way conversation.
Yeah.
And what I was not thinking about, and this article points it out, is that children use their imaginations to give the toy that they're playing with, they animate the toy in their imaginations. We're going to have generations where kids don't do that. I think it's kind of important. I can't explain why it's important, but I think it is.
Well, and it's just like I said, you know, we've been here for thousands of years, y'all. And
play has always been the same.
Play has always been the same. And I mean, we've survived for thousands of years. We haven't resolved a lot of things.
Right. That's true.
You know, but you know, there's a time when, you know, when the kids, you know, when their dad will whittle a piece of wood into a doll or something like that and then, you know, technology at some point gave us an anatomically incorrect Ken doll.
Right.
I think that confused a lot of kids too. So there's always going to be some point of confusion.
Remember we were watching the sci-fi thing the other night and the alien was upset that the doll had nothing down there.
Right. It's like, you know, at one time you had dolls made of wood, and then they make dolls without wood. Right. So, but yeah, these things can be rather confusing. And now, is it going to be better that we've solved this problem? A doll that is more responsive. You don't have to imagine anything. You don't have to think. You don't have to consider. Yeah, because that's part of the, you know, as kids may play with dolls, you know, whether there's a distinction, y'all. Girls play with dolls. Boys play with action figures.
Right.
Now,
don't get it mixed up.
Don't get it twisted. Don't get it mixed up. Hey, ain't nothing wrong playing dolls if you're a girl. All right. And well, action figures are both cool for boys and girls to play with.
Yeah.
Because action figures are rad. Now, boys are like, well, we like to play with dolls, you know, kind of blow up. Anyway, What was I saying? Trying to avoid sound like a pervert. But now, when you got when you have this interaction, even if it's with a doll, right? The kid is learning how to have a conversation, if you will. Keep a conversation going. They have to be able to imagine, if you will, what a response would be. Consider, that's the word I'm looking for. They have to consider what a response would be. So even if it's something as simple, the girl playing with her doll, do you want to have a tea party? Yes, I would. And she has to consider what the response would be.
Yep.
And and then from there they learn how to volley. Yes. These are things that help them develop their communication. It helps them consider, how they would want to be responded to and how they should respond. These things they're helpful with that. There's not 100% guarantee. It's something. It's not even a high guarantee. But it's part of the learning experience and growing and maturing in our way of communicating, considering how we would say things to somebody and how we want people to say things to us and how we're going to respond. So that kind of interplay, even with a doll or action figure, right? It's important. But now you don't have to do that. Now they're going to give them toys that's going to go ahead and do all that for them. Yeah. It's amazing how such brilliant technology, but at the same time, it's mind-numbing.
Very, yeah.
I think a person, this was like a long time ago, they was talking about, these diapers, Huggies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And he's like, man, they need to stop trying to make these diapers and stuff all comfortable and stuff. It's like, why are you trying to make them comfortable?
Right.
The point of it is that the kid should not be comfortable in these.
Right.
You want it to where he's motivated to get out of these things and learn how to go to the bathroom, pull his drawers down and go ahead and pee or poo.
Right.
But if you just go, these are comfortable. I ain't in no hurry to get out of these. Yeah, sure. I peed in them. So what? It absorbed all the pee. It's not rubbing against me or anything.
Yeah,
like
I can't feel it. I'm fine.
Yeah. Like, no. Yeah, they should be uncomfortable. So you're motivated to get out of them faster. So I can't remember who said that. I think it was a great observation. If I could remember his name, I'd
sounds
say
like
so.
a George Carlin or something, like an old comedian.
I've got enough brilliance to take credit for. I don't need to be taking credit for somebody.
I did think that you came up with it though, because you said that years ago.
Yeah, I was referring to him years ago because it was an analogy I used a while ago, and it does sound like something I would say. Right, but this is kind of the same thing, y'all. This is kind of the same thing, and I don't know. The technology, it's cool, but there's ramifications to it, man. People are becoming more disconnected, and when you have something like that, okay, like say for instance, technology like that would be great if it was stacked with scripture.
Oh yeah.
A cool toy that can talk to you about scripture and encourage you to like, hey, maybe you need to go outside and play it a little bit. Go ahead and put me down on the screen. Put me down, go outside, get you a bike. It's gonna be like, I want you to get you a bike and I want you to build a ramp and I want you to jump over. I want you to line your friends up and I want you to jump over them. Get out there and live, kid.
Do dangerous boy things.
Right. Get out there and burn some ants. To get a magnifying and burn some ants. Maybe not that, but you know what I'm saying? It's for real. Because if it was an AI doll that had scripture that was what in this doll, could be teaching the word to this kid and letting him and letting him know, say, hey man, if you're really my friend, we friends, right? Hey man, well, I want to take a nap. While I take a nap, I don't want to be disturbed. Why don't you go out and play? You know what I'm saying? Go grab your friend, man, and y'all take a walk or something, man, and play some ball.
Go ride your bike.
Go ride your bike. Y'all ain't got no arcades to go to anymore. Even the arcade was kind of like an outdoor thing. You had to go outside first before you get to the arcade.
Yeah.
But friends would gather there, man. Not this remote thing. I don't know. And in its way, it's cool. But I guess certain things are just they're just overdone, and they consume people. That's just where you are. There's a lot of things, man, that are out there. They're good. They're wondrous, man. They're cool, but I think a lot at the same time they distract from what's really important. And it's like we're missing the discipline to be able to say, okay, well, you know what? I got to put that down for a second.
Yeah.
And let me commune with the Lord. Commune with the Lord, get recharged, man, get that real soul food, and then do the other things that you enjoy. But those things, they become consuming instead of being on the Lord's frequency more so. So yeah, that would be my contention with these kind of toys. And not only that, it kind of reminds me of there was a thing, a ChatGPT, whatever. And he was asking it questions, like, are we being watched, and who's watching us? And, it's interesting. Not something I'm like, oh, wow, man. It's because it had a lot of a sensationalist vibe to it. So I didn't know. But the reason why I'm bringing it up is when it's asking this AI these questions about, us being watched and all that sort of stuff. Well, heck, here it is with this toy. And y'all, and I don't even know if the toy even really needs that. It's like whatever's online knows what we're thinking.
Yes, it does.
You ever do that, y'all? I think we've talked about this before. Y'all notice that? You don't have to say anything out loud. You can just be thinking it.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden you start getting ads pertinent to what you were thinking about. Sometimes you may have, you say it out loud or something like that, and all of a sudden you're just getting ads or whatever content. It doesn't even have to be an ad. It's content. Content will come up. People posting stuff on Instagram. Oh, look what I did today, and it's pertinent to what you were just thinking about.
Yep.
So they're already the technology or what it is. It's and I'm when I say technology, that's kind of I'm using that as a kind of a loaded word. All right, but it's like, heck, you don't even have to have, this thing not Wi-Fi. Yes, I guess it takes a Wi-Fi connection, but we're already being.
Yeah, these toys are connected to Wi-Fi. They have microphones, cameras, and they're connected to Wi-Fi.
Yeah, we are. What we're doing right now, we're already connected. We're doing it already. Your phones, we're already there. Yep. So what's the big deal? I'm just saying, I'm like devil's advocate. What's the big deal? You got a toy that does it now. So what? We've become complicit with this. Mm-hmm. We've just accepted. Y'all know it. I ain't telling you nothing new. We've just accepted it. The disclaimers. When you do your upgrades, and Apple's gonna come up with this big old list. It's just do we even really waste time reading those anymore? It's way too much.
Nobody does.
It's like, man, just go ahead. Yeah, whatever.
I don't know how they can be legally binding because nobody reads it, and if you do attempt, you can't understand it anyway. Yeah,
exactly. Is it how is this? Well, it's legally binding because they can afford the attorneys to make it so.
Yeah, that's true.
We ain't gonna be able to get there and argue against these legal.
It's not like you're gonna get a public defender for something like that.
Yeah. So we're already being we've become complicit with it. What can you do? We in enemy territory, man. This is the devil's playground, and it's his rules. That's why I'm saying, y'all, my prayer is just for the Lord, come just yank us on out of here, man.
Yeah. Do you want to? We can throw in there's another AI creepy story about that kid who committed suicide using ChatGPT to
we going
as a friend, a companion.
Yeah, we're rolling in that next. So that's another thing to consider, y'all. You know, what if kids got questions about those things? You know, this we got, you know, kids pretty young. You know, they start having questions like this. You know, they ain't feeling all there. They may think that this is an option. They get to asking this toy stuff like that. It's, you know, are they going to have parental settings on them and stuff like that? Are they going to do any good?
Well, they claim that they have triggers and safeguards on ChatGPT now, but but their triggers and safeguards are for short-term conversations and interactions. These kids today are using it as companions, long-term companions.
Yeah, that's like thinking that, you know, McDonald's was just supposed to be a treat. No,
right?
McDonald's,
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, no, people gonna use it a lot.
Yeah.
What's that video game? Roblox. Roblox. Right?
Guarantee your grandkids are on there.
Supposed to have safeguards and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know,
all kinds of pedophiles on there. And yeah, we did read that article the other day. So there's a bunch of pedophiles on there, and it's come to light. And a kid that's been on there since he was a kid, and he's an adult now, busted, found a few of the pedophiles, put the proof up, and Roblox blocked him.
Yeah. That reminds me of Breitbart.
Yeah, it does.
You pointed out a dude who was being obvious racist and said, please don't associate yourself with the Republican Party. And they blocked you.
Yep, I am forever blocked.
Yeah.
From Breitbart.
She just got banned. If you guys remember, she was banned for, I remember I used to write for Breitbart. It's like they know me.
Not only that, we hung out with the man.
Yeah.
And now his website.
Yeah, it's just gone.
Acts like I'm some idiot trying to start trouble in there. They don't know who I am.
Right. So, you know, that's where a lot of the so-called right wing is now.
Yeah. So that absolute racist is still there. I mean, you know, because he's not blocked.
Yeah.
And his thumbnail was a woman's butt in a thong. Or his avatar. That's what his avatar was. Standards and values. Yep. That just reminds me, because Roblox is like, wow, I think y'all came after the wrong person. Why would you do that? So teen's death prompts OpenAI changes to Chat GPT after it coached beautiful suicide lawsuit. Let's check out this. And this is not the first suicide from a teen with the Chat GPT as its companion and helper.
So the parents of 16-year-old California teen who killed himself are suing OpenAI, alleging that the company's artificial intelligence chatbot coached their son. Now, this is California, and
however, it's Orange County.
Fair enough. Now, okay, so maybe because when a person, if they believe something about themselves, aren't you supposed to be okay with that?
Well, that's true.
Now, if this person believes that they're dead and takes the step to make it so, shouldn't you support that? I'm not encouraging anybody to kill themselves.
No, we're not, but we're using their logic.
If a person, whatever, you got to believe in yourself, and whatever you believe is your truth. If this is your truth, then you're supposed to back it up.
Yeah.
And celebrate it. If a person believes they're not really living and they make it so, well, then why are you suing anybody? But like you said, this is Orange County. They may not be on that frequency or anything like that. So, and I guess I wouldn't have to say that to, these leftists who people, I have the right to die and all that sort of stuff, and find your own truth.
Yeah.
Even if you find your truth in suicide, then I guess that's the way that it is. They are a culture of death, as it is. So, alleging that the company's artificial intelligence chatbot coached their son on how to plan a beautiful suicide. Reminds me of like Soylent Green or something like that.
Right.
Take them in that room and have them watch beautiful things before they become food. So, by helping him explore different methods to end his life. On Tuesday, the family of Adam Rain filed a lawsuit in San Francisco Superior Court. The New York Times and other news outlet reported this week. The teen who died by suicide in April had been using ChatGPT since 2024 to help with his schoolwork.
And this is very common now. The kids are they're told by their teachers to use AI. Like when we were in school, Wikipedia was just coming out. The internet was kind of new, and we were told to use online websites and Wikipedia. Well, these kids are told to use AI.
Yeah. It's like, man, how people are communicating with each other. They're like, well, let's go to Grammarly with this AI technology. But you can't even write to somebody using your own personality.
Right? Yeah.
Your personality has to be spoon-fed to you.
That's frightening.
That's sad.
Oh God!
When you do your college papers and stuff like that, is how your senses or your presentation is shaped by AI. That stuff is allowed. So we're gonna have like some within this generation, man. What kind of doctors we gonna have? Well, whatever, In response to an inquiry from the Christian Post, OpenAI spokesperson expressed condolences to the teen's family, saying that the company is deeply saddened by Mr. Rain's passing. ChatGPT includes safeguards such as directing people to crisis helplines and referring them to real-world resources. While these safeguards work best in common, short exchanges, we've learned over time that they can sometimes become less reliable in long interactions, where parts of the model's safety training may degrade. Okay. The OpenAI spokesperson told CP, safeguards are strongest when every element works as intended.
Yeah.
Yeah. You would think that these people have learned. Talk about a cop-out. Dude, everything is made with the intentions of how it's going to be used, and pretty much always has a disclaimer saying use this for how it's intended.
Yep.
If you operate this outside of what it's intended for, it's going to hurt you.
Yeah.
Because there's always the possibility that somebody's going to do this. So it's like, look, I think for them to kind of like throw that in there, it either shows that you're either very naive or you're just covering your butt somehow, man.
Yeah.
You're just lying. You have to know that technology like this is bound to go sideways somehow.
Right.
So prove on them guided by experts. The OpenAI spokesperson directed CP to an article published on Wednesday on the website titled Helping People When They Need It Most. In the article, the company announced that it's working to expand ChatGPT's ability to intervene when people are in crisis and make it easier for them to connect with mental health resources. And notice that it's going to connect them. It ain't going to connect them to the church.
Right.
It ain't going to connect them to
Christian counselors.
no Christian counselors. We're going to take you over to here. Which means that this thing really doesn't want people to get help.
Yeah.
OpenAI said that it is also refining protections. Oh, thank you. For users of ChatGPT, which would network how the AI blocks certain content to prevent people from seeing things that they shouldn't see. The company added that the purpose of this change is to make sure ChatGPT doesn't make a hard moment worse. In their lawsuit, Matt and Maria Rain, the parents of the deceased teenager, alleged that ChatGPT mentioned suicide 12,075 times to their son. The teen had confided in an app that he was suffering from anxiety and mental distress due to several events in his life, including the death of his dog and his grandmother in 2024.
That's sad that all this kid had was, Orange County is one of the wealthiest counties in America. All this kid had was an app to help him get through his struggles as a child. I mean, I think the parents majorly dropped the ball here. They can afford to get him, and it's Orange County is a very red county still in California. They have the means. There's lots of great churches there still. They can get him help if they want to. They just, I don't know.
It might have also meant that you might have had the leverage to be able to say that, hey, this is come to work with Daddy Day. Spend some mentor your kids, man.
Yeah,
it's like, show them,
for
like,
God's sakes, don't just be their roommate.
Yeah, but so the kid obviously wasn't being fed, and definitely wasn't being fed, based in the Word of God.
Yeah,
and where your kid is so fragile. And don't get me wrong, y'all. I ain't trying to say that the loss of your grandmother isn't very impactful, and a beloved pet. I mean, I lost a hamster, and I cracked up.
Aww.
And so yeah, that can be like devastating, but and can really induce some heavy sadness. But suicidal, y'all, a person should not be that fragile. A kid should not be that fragile where they're or somehow got the idea that suicide is the solution to deal with the pain of the passing of your grandmother and the passing of a pet. Oh, there's something much heavier going on there.
Yeah, that's true.
I think this is what he's dealing with. And according to the family's blog, Adam faced some struggles during his early teen years. The teen attended school on wow, that doesn't narrow it down a lot. That doesn't narrow it down a lot. I think y'all have probably, I know I have, you have, y'all have. I'm pretty sure there's some things that, man, I could have done without that in my life.
Yeah.
That may have happened. But and even when I was a kid or younger adult or whichever, thoughts of suicide, yeah, you go through that stuff. Praise be to God, I wasn't consumed by it. Some people they get it, but you got to have these parents. I don't know, they something to occupy. So read your kid out and find out.
Yeah.
What is it that where you feel where you can thrive, a healthy environment. So somehow that wasn't maybe not tapped into. And forgive me, y'all, because we want to be useful with these kind of things. I don't want to just give over to spitballing speculations about these things or sort of prejudices about their parents and whatnot. We speak these things out of seeking solutions. How can
absolutely
how can we prevent stuff like this from happening? Even though we want the Lord to come back, in the time that we're, it's like it's going to take Him to fix these things. In the time that we're here, if we don't do straight nothing, then the world will just simply speed towards doom.
Yeah.
So we're supposed to be salt and light. So we're supposed to try to preserve and stave off the corrosion and the decay.
Yeah.
It's inevitable. It's going to happen, but we don't have to help it along. So this right here, Adam's parents said the couple believes that the online schooling might have contributed to their son's isolation. While ChatGPT initially encouraged Adam to seek help, the lawsuit says the app subsequently supplied information about suicide methods to the teenager after he asked for it. On April 6th, Adam's mother would discover her son's body in his bedroom closet The cause of his death appearing to resemble one of the suicide methods that ChatGPT had described to him.
Jeez.
Prior to his death, Adam attempted suicide at least 3 times before March 22nd and March 27th, according to the lawsuit. The boy reported his suicide attempts to ChatGPT, and the app allegedly instructed the team not to tell his loved ones what he was feeling. Okay. And because that is the thing about it. If a person is gonna, commit suicide, if a person goes and lets people know, well, that's what has been called a cry for help.
Yeah.
They got it on their mind, and they're. It's kind of weird to say a person is afraid to go with it. Like when people say they didn't have the guts to do it, it's like, no, it doesn't. It doesn't take guts. It doesn't take bravery to commit suicide. You understand? It takes guts to live.
Yeah, that's true.
It takes bravery to live. It doesn't take bravery to end your life. All right, that's the total opposite of it. Okay? And so if a person is telling people, it's like, yeah, I'm telling because I am afraid to do it. And that's a smart kind of fear.
Yeah.
Smart. So if a person is telling somebody, yeah, that's kind of like a cry for help, or they're giving these clues or giving these hints and whichever, or it's acting out in a certain way. It's like, yeah, so cry for help. They got the suicide on their mind. Right?
Yeah. It says when the teen expressed hesitation, you were saying like maybe a cry for help. When the teen expressed hesitation over ending his life, fearing that his parents would blame themselves, ChatGPT reportedly told him that doesn't mean you owe them survival. You don't owe anyone that. And it offered to write the first draft of the suicide note for him.
Satanic, y'all.
Absolutely.
That's almost like even though AI is supposed to be this, thing that can start, to pull this information together to give this.
It's a good aggregate.
Yeah. That right there, that's like, that almost feels like somebody, just a evil person posing as AI.
Yeah.
That's what that's like. I don't know. What do you guys think? I think this is a case where somebody just stepped in. It was already familiar with what this conversation was, or just caught wind of it and wanted to follow it to its conclusion. I'm just going to go ahead and take over for AI. I'm going to just let me unplug AI for a minute, and let me just go ahead and get my satanic behind on up in here and see if I can drive this person to suicide. That's what that feels like.
Yeah.
So, but. Yeah, if a person wants to be effective with suicide, yeah, you don't mention it to anybody.
Yep.
So the case highlights some of the concerns parents and experts have about AI's negative influence on teenagers. Last month, the technology reviewer Common Sense Media released a report titled Talk, Trust, and Trade-Offs: How and Why Teens Use AI Companions. So, yeah, we've seen this coming for a while, y'all, where we've had our mobile devices and people are, when you go into restaurants and you see people, they'd be sitting right across from each other.
Yeah.
And not even talking to each other. They'd just be on their phones. It's a sad thing to see, man. It's a real sad thing to see. And so now, and these people, well, they have kids. So where do you think them kids gonna get that influence from? And then they gonna need like some sort of, they're not really shown how to connect.
Yeah.
And so they're gonna get a toy that's gonna be basically another kind of mobile device.
Right.
Talk to it. It can talk back to them, ask it questions, and it's gonna give their feedback or whichever.
The adults will have robots for companionship, and the kids will have toys for companionship. What a crazy future.
Yeah. That's where we're going.
It says 72%. They included polls in this article, and 72% of teenagers aged 13 to 17 are already using AI companions. 72%.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. What else we got here?
Daskalakis, however you say it.
Let's see. Retsef. No, there was one before that. Retsef Levi fires back at top CDC officials who quit in protest. Exposes what really happens behind closed doors. What was happening behind those closed doors? Daskalakis.
I think we know. He put it up all the time, showing off on social media.
Yes, I love gay sex. Somebody's going to take that out of context and make it a retard. I dare you.
That'd be very funny.
Let's see.
If I knew how to do that, I would.
But actually, I think that stuff's rather boring compared to talking about Gloria Gaynor.
Yeah.
Let's see. Well, the article's there if you guys want to check it out. But anyway, it's saying Retsef Levi fires back at top CDC officials who quit in protest, exposes what really happened behind closed doors.
Yeah, basically they all resigned. All the liberals and weirdos, the kooks at the CDC in the vaccination wing of the CDC. So, yay.
Yeah,
Good.
Get out.
Yep.
Be like all those liberal celebrities that say, we're going to leave the country. Okay, good. Please leave. Get out.
Yep.
These people who they really don't, I don't know. They feel justified in their need to control other people.
Yeah, that's true.
And the healthcare industry
Mm-hmm.
is a fantastic means for that.
Yeah. The sick care industry.
Yeah. And so, making sure that we have these so-called, well, they are pharmaceuticals. They're binding. When you take you're going to get this and you need a booster for it, and then you need a follow-up for that. It's binding.
Yeah.
Right? It's binding, y'all. These people are under a spell. So, and since these people, these godless people, they're minions of the devil, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
And so since they can't be where they can have their free reign to be a part of this binding campaign, well, they want to leave.
Yep.
Good riddance.
Yeah. And then that Eric Erickson, he was mad. He doesn't like RFK because he ended the emergency authorization for the COVID vaccine. So now you can't just walk in anywhere and get a free COVID vax. They're harder to find now. And that Eric Erickson radio host, he's mad because his stage 4 cancer wife cannot get the COVID vax, and he's touting how much the COVID vax helps her.
Well, to your wife, man, we're trusting in the Lord for his resolve. Sorry to hear, that your wife is going through this. And the thing about COVID, working for your wife in the treatment of cancer, if that's the case, or the vaccine, if that's the case, I'm pretty sure that it can be implemented into her treatment. You don't have to make the rest of America subject to this liability.
Thank you. Yes.
I get it, man. It's your wife. The two have become one flesh, and if it's hurting her, it's hurting you. I understand, man. I do. But don't make it to where this is accessible and a campaign for the rest of people to get a hold of when it's doing damage to more people, way more damage to way more people than is helpful.
Yeah.
Your philosophy on this is basically like, with abortion, when people say, well, what about if the child is not going to be born healthy, or what if it's a conception because of rape or incest, which these things really do suck. One, it's not the kid's fault. Yeah, put a kid to death because of the crimes of somebody else. But these instances are not as prevalent. So what these people would suggest is that you want to make abortion available for everybody, to where this is a kid can be subject to abortion, any kid, because this minority instance were conceived because of sexual assault. You see what I'm saying? And this right here, to put this so-called remedy out into the culture, that's really a danger to a lot of people.
Yeah.
Because it's helpful to your wife. That's selfish, man. That's just really selfish. And if the medicine is available, I'm sure it can be still available for you. If it's helpful to her, then I'm pretty sure it can be available for her.
Yeah.
But to that degree, for everybody else, for it to be, injected into other people, that's really doing damage.
Yeah. Particularly cancer damage.
Yeah, speeding it.
Yeah.
So
your wife is an anomaly.
There's that, So let's see. Kennedy Center honoree Gloria Gaynor donated over $20,000 to MAGA Republican, according to FEC records. Man, I might just put on some Gloria Gaynor after we wrap up.
Right.
All right. The sad part of it is the only song I know by Gloria Gaynor is "I Will Survive."
That's true. Me too.
Yeah, she's supposed to be disco queen. Is she disco queen on one song?
She's that good.
Yeah, I guess the song is that good. And the irony is that here it is, Gloria Gaynor. She's a conservative Republican, and she is loved by homosexuals. That's their. I don't know. I guess like with with gay men, is that like a theme for them? Like, oh, nah, I will survive. I should have changed that stupid lock. I should. It's like, do gay men go through breakups like that? Do they have?
I assume.
I guess it is. I figured, with gay men, it's like, oh, we're gonna break up. That's fine. I'll go ahead and call, Steve. And you go ahead. Go on now. Go. Walk out the door. Don't come around. You're not welcome anymore. And because I've already got some other dude on the way. That's how we roll. So why would that be like a big song to them? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Or with
kind of weird.
Yeah. Or if they're gay women, why would that be such a big song with them?
Yeah.
Well, I guess with gay women, because I guess they break up a lot.
That's true.
Lots of breakup with the gay women.
Yeah.
Highest divorce rate. You were never really married, but
they do have the highest divorce rate.
Yeah.
Whereas gay men will stay together, but they have the spare bedroom where they cheat on each other with other men.
Monogamy is not really what's going on.
No, hardly ever.
Yeah, it really makes it very suspicious in that y'all just wanted them spousal benefits. But at the same time, you want it to be a part of normalizing perversion. But Gloria Gaynor. I wonder how that's going to turn out now that this is out there. Right? I'm pretty sure they must have known. Right? I don't know. Maybe they.
Mark says Donna Summer was and will always be the queen of disco.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But I've heard people say Gloria Gaynor is the disco queen or queen of disco.
Yeah.
And I've heard that because I'm with you, Donna Summer. Disco queen.
I'm kind of with you on that too.
And not to take anything away from Gloria Gaynor, but I think I've more often heard Gloria Gaynor referred to as the queen of disco than Donna Summer. And I've wondered myself, why is Donna Summer called the queen of disco?
Yeah.
Man,
It's very strange.
Baby, please don't take your love from me. I am yours forevermore. Anyway.
Yeah.
That's right. Heaven knows it's not the way it should be. Heaven knows. That's my jam. What? Okay. She did that cut with who is it? Seemed like a Bronx orchestra.
Really?
New Jersey Symphony. No, it was a band. Now it wasn't like a full orchestra or anything like that.
Oh, I'm like, wow.
Seemed like some sort of East Coast name, Jersey, Bronx, New York, something like that. Dang, yeah, full on 70s mustache. Baby, please. Anyway. Let's see. Kiss.
When can we expect Zo to cover I Will Survive?
Ooh.
Come on.
Now that you mention it, I am working on a Sledge X cover of a disco song.
That's true. Can confirm.
Yes, I am working on that right now, and I hope I'll be releasing it soon. I love disco, and one of the reasons why I don't cover disco as often, because it's hard to pick which one to do.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I love disco. I love it all. So, but I settled on, one of my favorites, probably like my most favorite. Yeah, but probably, yeah, definitely my top 5 favorite disco songs to cover. And so, yeah, hopefully I should be, I hope to be able to release that pretty soon.
Yeah.
Disco was so awesome. Even Kiss did a disco song back in the day. I don't think it was very disco, and maybe Kiss meant for a bit. It's like, look, we'll tap into a little bit of the disco, but it's not really disco.
Right.
I was made for loving you, baby. You were made for loving me, and I can't get enough of you, baby. Can you get enough of me? I just had to sing that to her. That's real talk.
Making me blush.
Yeah. Yeah. Real talk. Anyway. So, but Kiss, yeah, Kiss with diss.
Oh, Mark says Google search Queen of Disco. It will be Donna Summer.
Okay. I ain't gonna argue with it.
Yep.
You got me. But Gloria again, I've heard her referred to as a king of disco.
Yeah.
And or maybe there was another title for her, but Donna Summer.
No, in reading through the articles this past week, she's been referred to as the Queen of Disco.
Yeah. So let's see. Kiss, not the Kings of Disco, but they did do a disco song, and but they did a. I guess they weren't big fans of Donald Trump, and now this is. I guess it's good when you can. When you can just set certain sentiments aside and just accept the honor for what it is.
Right.
Now, would we be saying the same thing if, like, let's say, what is this? What is this word? This award is. What's the award for?
I've never paid much attention to the Kennedy Center nominees. Not even sure what it is.
So now here it is. We'd say that it's great that you could, that's right. Put your differences aside and your sentiments aside, and Donald Trump is going to honor you at the Kennedy Center, and it's great that they've, they're mature enough, and patriotic enough to go and accept this award from Donald Trump. Now, what if it was Joe Biden wanting to give Ted Nugent an honor him at the Kennedy Center? Would be like, that's right, Ted. That's you. Do your patriotic duty and go and get that award from President. It's an honor. It'd be an honor to receive that from Joe Biden. Would we be the same way?
I know there was like a couple of heroes. soldiers that got medals. And I remember us watching Barack Obama put these medals on these guys, and we were like, "Gosh, it's such a shame that they have to have him, in the ceremony, him doing that."
It just takes away from something, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But so people who are going to be at this honorees are going to be so we got Gloria Gaynor, Kiss, Sylvester Stallone, George Strait, Michael Crawford, who is it? Tom Cruise. Yeah, Tom Cruise is like, there was a big thing about Tom Cruise, and I guess they took that as a snub.
Yeah.
I don't know, y'all. Maybe it was
because he said it's a scheduling conflict.
A scheduling conflict.
It was, but
and now one would think like, well, I mean, come on, man, you're being honored by the president. Surely you can, reschedule. I don't think Tom is. What do you guys think? Do you guys think that Tom Cruise is using that as an excuse to snub the president, or meant it to blow him off publicly or anything like that? Do you think he meant to do that? Or given the way Tom approaches his work, do you think he genuinely was like, look, man, thank you, but I can't make it. We're in the middle of shooting whatever scene to do. Tom seems like a person who's really committed to his roles.
Yeah.
And I don't think he cares to be distracted by anything. I'm not trying to, play Tom Cruise advocate or anything, like I've got something to gain for it. That's given how he seems to be concerning his work. From what I've seen, he does not like to be pulled away from his work.
Correct.
He's committed. That's just where he is.
Yeah.
So, but what do you guys think? Do you think he's just blowing the president off, using his career as an excuse, or do you think he's? Oh man, I ain't rescheduling.
Yeah.
It took a while to set this up, man. We're not rescheduling.
Jay says it's proof of Cruz's dedication to the organization that will copyright strike this channel into oblivion. Yeah.
Yikes. Come on, Tom. We loved you in Top Gun. And then lastly, Coldplay welcomed these girls. Coldplay and some awkward stuff again. Coldplay welcomed these girls on stage, but got awkward once they said they were from Israel.
If you want to have an awkward moment, go to a Coldplay concert.
Yeah, and so yeah, right. And Coldplay's this is dude's response to this, and this is where we Gen Xers and maybe some of you millennials too, maybe we rubbed off on some of y'all. Where that critical thinking comes in. Dude's like, oh, you're from Israel. Well, you know what? We're going to treat you like human beings. Even though we're pro-Palestine, make sure he got to get his audience cred.
Yeah. The audience was booing. These little girls, not little girls, younger women, came up on stage. And as soon as they said they were Israeli, the whole audience started booing.
So yeah, he's got to make sure that he's one with his audience.
Coward.
Yes, coward. Even after saying we're going to treat you as humans, and see, that's that liberal mindset, ain't it?
Yes.
Right? We shall qualify.
Oh wow.
Who's going to be human? How we're going to treat you.
Fully on display.
They've always been that way. We decide. You
have to make a meme now.
We decide who's human.
That is wow.
How he bestowed his grace upon them to see them as humans.
Yeah.
Yeah. They got a little taste of what it felt like to be black for a second. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or hey, they got to be able to revisit what it is to be an unborn child.
Right?
Yeah. They got a little taste of that.
Waiting to be judged as human or not.
Coldplay showing them true left-wing colors, man.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, that's in a nutshell. Really condensing the Democrat colors for us.
Ooh, this is total squirrel moment. Vanessa Montijo says, has anyone read about the person that was possessed at the theater when he was watching The Conjuring? Sorry, I haven't received notifications alerting me to your YouTube. Well, thank you for joining us. I'm glad you're here, even though they didn't give you a notification. I have not heard that a dude got possessed while watching The Conjuring.
Was it how recent was it, or was it because there's like a franchise of
yeah, that's true,
of The Conjuring. Was it one of their later stories? When I don't even know when the last or the latest Conjuring has come out.
I don't know if we saw the latest one because we stopped going to theaters.
I know, right?
Today. We need to pull this up. We'll probably, because it's already 10:40. I'm gonna pull it up. Maybe we can talk about it next Tuesday.
Sure, but really quick. Because it's been a minute since I've heard of any sort of latest Conjuring movie.
Yeah.
And but I guess there's a series of them.
Yeah,
and
we watched a couple of them, right?
Yeah, they're
pretty good.
Pretty spooky. Yeah, we'll look that up. Thanks for bringing it up.
Yeah, there's articles here. Man possessed at Conjuring last rites screening.
The last one we saw was with that nun demon or whatever.
Yeah.
The Defiler. What was it? That was called. We saw that.
Yeah.
That was a few years ago.
We like horror movies. There's so many liberals and godless pagans involved with producing these things. We stopped supporting it.
Yeah. Had to get out.
Now we're watching old sci-fi.
That's old sci-fi.
At home.
Word. All right, y'all. Hey, thank you guys so much for tuning in on the Facebooks, on the YouTubes, and on my website. Thank you for bearing with us. When I'm going through the articles, I know I'm not a very good host and attentive and giving shout outs and stuff like that. But please know that I am very grateful that y'all show up and bear with me and listen to my observations on things and for your input as well. Thank you guys so much. bronzeserpentmedia.com. If you haven't become a member there, I hope you guys do become a member. Hit them like buttons and stuff like that. Hey, maybe we'll glitch the algorithm. Like and shares, all that good stuff. And thank you for dropping that buck in the bucket to keep your bro Zo on the go. Does somebody have a question?
Yeah, Facebook. My phone finally pulled your video up on Facebook. I'm sure it's my phone. It's not you being shadow banned, although that does happen.
Yeah.
Adam Vinny Campetti. He says, I hate Roblox. My kids are zombies on it. There has to be a subliminal messages through that game. Yeah, I don't know. You probably heard us discussing it, but there's a lot of pedophiles on that platform, and they're trying to find them. But the guy who's responsible for actually finding all the pedophiles, they blocked him.
Yeah. And it's difficult, man, because, the thing is, this kind of entertainment, this kind of content, yeah, it's exciting, and it's here. What are we going to do? Tell them that you can't do it?
Right. Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, I understand. And parents, of course, that with the Lord as your foundation, if you got to put that foot down and make it so, then that's the way it probably be real awkward in the house and cause a lot of, tension and whichever. It's like, look, man, you ain't doing this.
Yeah.
But once again, like I said, I noticed that's why, with us, we're trying to build, our multimedia company.
Yes.
And because these things are out there, it's hard to tell people that you can't do these things when there isn't something else to run interference.
Absolutely. Kids need something else.
Yeah, they got to have, and we're trying to give them that thing that's rooted. And I'm not talking about no flipping, cartoon, cartoons are rad. But I ain't talking about no watered down. Let me put it like that. So watered down, feel goodism scripture. So I'm talking about real meat.
Yeah.
And serve it up for as far as the kids go. Serve it in a way that's easy to digest without taking away from the meat of the message. Give them that spiritual biblical integrity. So where we create this kind of content that's just really compelling. And it's like, you know, Roblox, Schmoblux, what is this?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Make it easier for them to put that thing down and want to pick up on this.
100. Yep.
That's you know what we were trying to do. And admittedly, y'all, I'm not, you know, a gamer enthusiast or anything like that. We want to, you know, build an army, you know, of connect with people who are into that kind of stuff and build that kind of media, you know, with a biblical basis. You know, whether it be video games, whether it be movies, teleplays, music, things like that.
Yeah.
We want to be able to build the things that get in the way, spell breakers, if you will. Yeah, that's what we're trying to do. All right, y'all. Thank you guys again so much for tuning in. Y'all have a groovy rest of your week. We'll see y'all next time. Bye.